Hello and welcome back to Bookish, and welcome back to my Saturday Hodgepodge video weekly wrap-up of reading and other booktube, bookish type stuff. I have a few things to talk to you about today. I'm going to try to go fast. I made 3 tag videos this week, so you've probably seen enough of my dumb little show cards in your subscription feed. I appreciate your patience. I was trying to catch up. But I do want to, do my Saturday Hodgepodge video and kind of address some things. First thing I want to talk about is a video that Lukas from A Cruel Reader's Thesis made this week about how fast you read. And in that video, he asked several questions. And I thought this was interesting because reading speed is one of those things I am fairly self-conscious about. I am and consider myself to be a slow reader. And he asked some good questions. So I think his questions were, how fast do you read? How many pages do you read an hour? Do you want to read faster? Are you frustrated by your slow reading? And these are kind of similar questions. So I say all the time, I'm a slow reader. I think I average around 30 pages an hour, but not always. And this will kind of lead me into other topics. I do sub-vocalize. I have been assured by many people who don't that not sub-vocalizing would speed up my reading. I believe them, and that it wouldn't detract from the reading experience at all. I'm not sure I believe them. And this may just be superstition. You may call this, an anti-science position that I hold. But I'm pretty happy with the pace at which I read most of the time. I like sub-vocalizing. I like hearing the voice in my head. I will be honest with you, and this doesn't always happen, but oftentimes when I'm reading, I don't hear necessarily my voice, but I hear the voice of the character. Sometimes I think I hear the voice of the author. Yes, it's always kind of my voice, but that's what I hear, and I like that. I think it gives me a chance to savor the words more, savor the sentences more. Not that people who don't sub-vocalize and read faster don't. I'm talking about me, and that gives me more enjoyment. Am I sometimes frustrated with the pace at which I read? Yes, I'm frustrated with the pace at which I read when I'm reading something and it's not going very well. It may be something that I've committed to read. It may be something that I really want to read and I'm not going to DNF. And it may be a book that I actually really like that just has kind of parts that are slow. You may know that for Victober I read Jane Eyre and I really, really liked it. There were still parts that I thought were slow, and I was anxious for those parts to go by more quickly, and that's when I become frustrated with my slow reading pace. When I want to get on and see if there's something I'm going to like more, when I'm stuck in a section that I don't find particularly interesting, that's when I want to read faster. And the kind of ironic flip side of that, well, I guess, and that's oftentimes when I'm more conscious of the fact that I read slowly. And then the ironic flip side of that is that when I really like what I'm reading, I have a tendency to read a good deal faster than 30 pages an hour, which means that I'm doing the opposite of everything I thought. I like the way I read. I'm not interested in changing the way I read, but that doesn't mean it doesn't sometimes frustrate me to be a slow reader. And so while I'm on that topic, reading this month has been very difficult for me. I'm still in a kind of a post-election existential dread period, and again, I'll just say buddy reads are what are getting me through. I will have read and reported on the next section of The Story of Junius Wilson, Unspeakable, The Story of Junius Wilson, by our own Hannah Joyner and Sarah Birch. By Sunday, I'm enjoying this buddy read, and then I will also by Sunday have read the next 100+ pages or so of SPQR by Mary Beard, a buddy read that I'm doing with Noelle, the book Rook, and I'm enjoying that as well. So those things have kept me reading. I have been reading Michael Gora's The Saddest Word. You can usually tell how I feel about a book by how many sticky notes are in it, and I will just say that for as much as I looked forward to this book, it has been a bit of a chore, and it has been somewhat disappointing. I will probably do a full review of this later, but that's where I am. I am still hoping to get to Balzac's Lives by Peter Brooks, and hoping that it is more enjoyable and more satisfying and less disappointing than the saddest words. And then I also want to get to Our Prison's Obsolete by Angela Y. Davis this month, and that's starting to feel optimistic because it is already, let's see, today would be the 21st of November. That's going pretty slow. As a reminder, I do a short story. I'm doing a short story project this year. I chose American, kind of classic American short stories for this year. I read one a month. I do a video about them. I invite you to read along with me and to share your thoughts about the story. This month's story is The Jockey by Carson McCullers. If I can find a PDF, I'll leave it down in the show notes below. And then that video will be up on the 25th. That's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I believe that's the day my daughter and her husband are coming to our house. We will make up a party of just 5. My daughter was just recently tested, and so we are going to do that for Thanksgiving. And I think you're just 5 of us. 1 of us, 2 of us who have been recently, 3 of us who've been recently tested is safe enough. And I realize that may not be what I should supposed to be doing, but we are foregoing visiting my parents and my sister and her kids in a larger group of 12 or 15. So the 5 of us are going to be together on Thanksgiving, so I obviously won't be filming a video that day, but I'll have the Carson McCullers, The Jockey video up on Wednesday. This was kind of like the motherlode of Book Award weeks. The National Book Award came out, and the Booker Prize was announced this week as well. And I don't follow any of those prizes, but I tell you, I have been enjoying watching your videos. But as much, and I'm not making fun of you at all, as much as I enjoy those videos and I appreciate the enthusiasm of the people who follow the awards, I'm kind of glad that I don't, because it feels like, it would feel kind of like an obligation to have read those books, and you know, I just went over how I'm a slow reader. But I have been enjoying those videos also. Also this week I did something different. I actually watched some big BookTube videos on TV, and that then brought up the question of, how do you watch BookTube, or YouTube in general, I guess. I usually watch on my computer with headphones, so they don't bother anybody. I can watch them anytime I want to, but I had the house to myself this morning, and I thought, or excuse me, yesterday morning, so I thought I'll watch some BookTube videos on TV while I'm doing some other stuff, and it worked out pretty good. The problem I had with that is that then I have to get back on my phone to leave comments on people's videos, which I've expressed that I really like to do. So that was somewhat problematic. Anyway, there was that last week, or this week, in one of my videos I shot it outside so you could see the dogs and our nice weather, and I mentioned there's a park behind my house. Heidi from My Reading Life in the comment section of that video said, well, now we need some footage of the park, and it just so happened that I went to the park on Thursday and I shot some footage of the park, which I will insert here for a brief kind of 2 minutes of nature and hopefully relaxation. So hope you enjoy that. Anyway, there you go. As always, thank you for watching. I look forward to your comments in the comment section below.